Hello Stampers, welcome to Make a Card Monday. Today we're going to make this fun, bright birthday card. It's just been such a dreary day here today. It's all rainy. In fact, we had some snow flurries last night and I just needed something cheery today. So I made this card and decided this is the card that we would make for Make a Card Monday. So are you ready to get started? Let's do this. So we're going to start off with a piece of cardstock. This is Pacific Point and it is 8.5 by 5.5. We're just going to fold this in half to make our card base. We're going to use our bone folder, and now we're going to set that aside. Now we also need a piece of cardstock that is 5.25 by 4. And this is going to be our card front. Okay. So the stamp sets that we're working with today are going to be the Timeless Textures. Okay, and we're going to be using this stamp right here that has the dots on it. Okay, and that's going to be our background. And then we're also going to be using the Vertical Greetings stamp set. Now this one is in the annual catalog, and I have to admit I've had it for several months and it just doesn't get a lot of love. So I decided to use it today and show it a little bit. Okay, so the first thing that I did on this card is I used my Sweet and Sassy framelits. Okay. And I love them because they are all hearts, but I really like them because they really make two kinds of hearts, okay? So they make this what I call the sassy heart, okay, that kind of goes in, and then they make a very traditional heart. And so they do both of those in all different sizes. So what I did is I took the very smallest, oops, I put it back in there, the very smallest of the sassy hearts, okay, and I cut out a heart in the colors I was going to use. So I did Melon Mambo, Tangerine Tango, Daffodil Delight, Emerald Envy, Pacific Point, and Rich Razzleberry. Now that is all rainbow. Love it, love it, love it. So we're going to push those aside. So I then got the same colors of my stamp pads, okay? And I'm just going to start at the top and work my way down. So the very top color is the Melon Mambo. Open it up, ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp it really close to the top there, just like that. Okay? I'm done with that one. Let me get my scrubber out, and I'm just going to scrub the wet, whoops, and the dry, and move on. Okay? The next color is the Tangerine Tango. Going to do the same thing. I'm going to ink it up, and I'm just going to go right up next to the other stamped image, and I'm just going to stamp it in the Tangerine Tango. Okay, clean it off. My next color is the Daffodil Delight. Again, ink it up, stamp it. Clean our stamp. Be sure you don't forget to clean your stamp in between, because otherwise you'll muddy up your stamp pads. Oh, forgot to show you. This one is the Emerald Envy. Next is Pacific Point. Now, if you notice on here, these are not necessarily straight. I am just stamping them on here. I think, you know, the more random they are, the better it's going to look. So I'm not worrying about being straight or anything like that. Okay, perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hearts back. You know, let's stamp our greeting first. So I'm going to do it in the Pacific Point, just because it pulls in the cardstock of the color of the main card base. And I'm just going to stamp it down just like that. Perfect. Now, with this particular stamp, these words, you know, they're very fine. It's very narrow. So you don't need to put a whole lot of pressure when you are actually stamping it. The better you can go straight down and up, the better it's going to be without having lines and things like that. Okay? Now I'm going to pull out my rhinestones, and I'm just going to stick a rhinestone in the middle of each of the hearts. And of course the first one doesn't cooperate. You know, some people use scissors on theirs, all kinds of things. I have typically the best luck just getting it under my thumbnail and putting it on like that. That one just was going to be a little challenging for me, but that's all right, we got it. So these are actually, if you notice, the retired rhinestones, okay? And how I know that is because they come in a link. They're in the old package of rhinestones. Some of the rhinestones were all attached together into strips, and so if you wanted them separate, you had to cut them apart. The new packet of rhinestones does not do that, but I still have some of the old package that I'm using up. And it's okay, they're the same rhinestones. There's no difference in them, okay? All right, so now I'm going to pull back my card base and I'm going to attach my card front. Just going to use some snail here. I'm going to put it, whoops, let's go down a little bit. Put it on just like that. Perfect. Now for each of these hearts, I am just going to use my snail to put them on. Okay, and you can kind of randomly put them on. You can put them on in a pattern. You can, you know what, let's try something new on this one. Let's try going down a row on them. You can pretty much do whatever you want. It's your card to make it however you like. A lot of times I don't line stuff up on cards or scrapbook pages or things like that, because that way if they're crooked, people don't know, because they're supposed to be crooked. So I am not into the boxes, squares, things like that. But you know what? I kind of like that now that it's done. So there we go. There are the two cards that I did. This one with more of a random with the hearts, and this one with them going straight down. So leave me a comment on my blog today when I post this, and I'll be giving away one of these cards to anybody who comments. I'll just draw one name out of all the comments and give away one of these cards. So thanks for stopping by.